Let's see, we're gonna move on here to Jason. Jason, are you there? Jason, can you hear me there? Or can you chime in on your telephone? Okay, well, while we're waiting for Jason to pick up the phone and say hello, I'm going to look at his question. He says, I've been having a problem with my site error messages, so I contacted my host, which is HostGator. They told me to reinstall Thesis. I reinstalled Thesis. No longer appear to read. How can I fix this? Okay, well, let's see if Jason is back on the line here. Jason.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yes.
So
Sorry about that. I got disconnected as soon as you asked a question of me. It was really strange.
Okay, so I'm going to make you a presenter.
Okay.
And so while I do that, while I'm talking, I'm going to turn you off because I can hear that echo there, and I don't want to record that echo. But so I can't. Nobody can hear you at the moment. But I am going to make you a presenter. And as a presenter, you can now. Okay, you are the presenter, and so you can now show us what's going on your screen.
Okay. All right. So what's happening here? This is a continuation of something that you were helping me with previously, Rick. But what's the best way to explain this? If I go over here, can you hear me? Okay.
Absolutely.
Good. All right. What was happening is I was getting an error message quite frequently on my site when I would try to access the administration area, or when I would try to just go to the site. So I contacted HostGator this morning, and they told me that the problem, and we'll go to my site right now, the problem was rooted in, hold on one second. They said that the reason I was having the problem was because of my theme, and something was broken in the theme.
Okay.
So she said that I had to reinstall the theme. So I asked her, I said, should I upgrade the theme, or should I reinstall it? And she told me that she went in there and took out the old theme, and I needed to reinstall it. So I went and I reinstalled 1.8 when I had 1.7 previously installed.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you can see what's happening here. It's not showing my header anymore. So I think what has happened here, Rick, is that I have upgraded to version 1.8, but I didn't, it actually wasn't an upgrade. It was a reinstallation. So I didn't transfer over my custom files.
Yeah, also what you may not have transferred over were the original settings, although I'm not sure. I guess what I would suggest, actually I need to turn you off again here somehow.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess what I would suggest that you need to do is take a copy of your custom folder from your original 1.7 installation and upload it to your 1.8 installation. When you do that, I mean, that's the normal method for upgrading, is to take the custom folder from the previous version and paste it in the new version.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Is that the entire folder then?
The entire custom folder.
Okay. Is there anything else besides that one folder? That's one thing. I figured I would have to move that folder, and I wasn't sure about anything else. And I'm also curious, should I just replace the 1.8 custom folder with
Well,
the 1.7
the
folder?
1.8 probably is named custom sample.
Okay.
Why don't you look at it on your, bring up your FileZilla programmer.
Sure. Okay, so here's Thesis 1.7 and 1.8, you can see. So I have to go in here. And
No, open up Thesis 1.8.
And you want to, I see. So I need to switch this.
No, just leave it alone. So then on your left-hand side, you had a custom folder there.
I do, yep. That's actually where we are right now.
Okay, go up one layer then, one level. Now
Okay.
take that custom folder and copy it across.
That should do it, hopefully.
Well, as long as the problem that you were having isn't caused by your custom files. Right? That's the other alternative. One alternative is that you had a problem with your Thesis installation, but another potential is that you've got a problem with your custom files. So why don't you refresh your website? Let's see what it looks like.
Great, there it is. All right, sweet. That was easy. Thank goodness.
Yeah, so in the future, when you upgrade, you want to keep the other Thesis installation in place. And because what happens is when you upgrade from one version of Thesis to the next, when you activate the new version, it goes back and reads the database settings of the old version.
I see.
So you want to keep the old version there too. So you do the upgrade, you upload Thesis 1.8 or the new version of Thesis, and you activate it. And then once you've activated it, you take the custom folder from the 1.7 installation and copy it to the 1.8.
Okay, so it's not, that's not an automatic process. It's
copying the custom folder is not automatic.
Okay. So is there any other custom data in the 1.7 folder that I need to be concerned about in order for 1.8 to
No,
function
custom
properly?
Thesis is designed to keep all the customization inside that custom folder.
Okay.
So you're supposed to be able to just pick up that custom folder and put it in any future Thesis installation, and it'll continue to work just fine.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Now, one thing to keep in mind
about the root cause of this problem,
yeah.
Rick. Yesterday when you were working with me a little bit, we had that error message, and I deactivated my cache.
Yeah.
Right, but then the problem came back, and that's what triggered me to contact HostGator this morning. And then HostGator said, well, that could be caused by a plugin. So they verified what you had said, but they didn't know which plugin. And I asked them, because I recently signed up for this online appointment scheduling platform called Optimize.
Yeah.
And what that does is generates code that links to, that I could insert on my pages that links to an online scheduling system. Right, so if we go over here, for example,
so did they think that was the problem?
They said they didn't know. They said that it could be. They said that could actually. They said that sometimes code or plugins could break themes. And I didn't know. I noticed that these problems started happening around the time that I started using Optimize. So I didn't know if the woman that I was interacting with via the chat, she didn't have the most experience in this area, so I didn't know if that's something that you're familiar with. I really like this service otherwise, but I'm just curious what your thoughts are on how
any,
plugins or code can actually break the feed.
anytime you use an iframe, you do introduce the potential for conflicts. And that's what this system is using. They're using an iframe. And so it's not necessarily causing a problem. And if you don't have a problem now when you're using it, then it probably isn't. But it's definitely something to keep in mind when stuff starts to happen funny. Because the whole iframe thing, if it's not properly implemented, can entirely screw up your HTML. Now, fortunately, it can only screw it up as long as it's there. And so it doesn't make any permanent problem. But
okay. Oh, that's good. Yes. Do you know of any? I've had a heck of a time trying to find an online appointment booking software that functions really smoothly. Do you know of any that would include a shopping cart with PayPal integration? I really like the functionality of this, but I am finding a lot of quirks in it. So if we were, one thing that this here gives the option to actually go to the calendar and make a reservation, for example, and then they could pay for the session right on the spot as well.
yeah.
Which is pretty helpful.
I would probably do that from scratch using WPE Store, but having something that's sort of turnkey like that, I don't know of one. Now, I do have a client who used to use some sort of online scheduling system, and I can ask her what she uses and see if she has a suggestion. But if it's no longer causing a problem, then, maybe it's just fine.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to figure out where the problems start.
Yeah, it's we'll see. I haven't gone in and started making any changes or edits. The problem seemed to crop when I was putting the code on different pages and kind of using it in different ways. So yeah. I haven't tried doing that yet. So I'll try it, here in a few minutes. This is very helpful. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.